Hey guys, welcome back. So today is Throwback Thursday, which means we are going to be using a palette from our collection that has been previously released maybe last year, or maybe we're talking a few years back. I'm trying to only use things you can currently get your hands on. However, I do have some palettes I do want to do some looks with that are not currently available, and we might just have to deal with it. You can always take shadows from your collection that are the same shade to recreate this look, so don't ever feel the pressure that I need this palette. No, you don't. This is just, if anything, it's inspiration. It's inspiring me. I hope it is inspiring you, encouraging you that you already have good things. Don't feel the pressure, because I feel the pressure. I have felt the pressure. And so I felt really strongly that I should do this series to encourage those of you, encourage myself, that I don't have to have the latest and greatest. It's not necessarily the greatest either, but the latest things. So last week I missed Throwback Thursday. I did put up a wine-related video, which I love my wine, and so this week is week 7. It would have been week 8, but you know, life happens. So today we're going to be using the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Contour Palette. This is an all matte eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. I've been playing around with this. You won't believe, actually maybe those of you who know me well will know and believe this, but I even diagrammed out like what shadows, you can't see that, it's so bright, what shadows I'm going to use in what part of my eye. I know a little bit crazy, but I didn't want to forget. I had created such a beautiful eye look the other day. I was like, this is the eye look I want to do for this Throwback Thursday look. So welcome if you are new. I'm going to start getting ready because I am very long-winded and I try not to make my intros super long, but you know what? It's kind of who I am and it just kind of accidentally happens. I don't even realize I've talked for 5 minutes because on my end, I'm just having a good old jolly time. So we're going to start off by priming our eyes. I am using the Milani Eyeshadow Primer Potion. So welcome if you are new. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you subscribe, and if you would like to be notified of when I upload videos for any of you, hit that bell next to the subscribe button, and YouTube should notify you of when I upload a new video. My upload schedule is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, and Saturday mornings are my chit-chatterday videos. And if you feel the need to follow me elsewhere, or if you would like to, I should say, all of my social media links are always listed in the description box. Instagram, Snapchat, which I've totally let die, and Twitter. Alright, so let me consult my diagram. I'm going to start with this cream shade. I like to set my eyeshadow primer with a matte shadow that is flesh-toned, your skin tone, because it helps my other shadows blend much better on top of it. On a recent video, I had one of you comment something that really struck a chord in me, and it really was so encouraging, and I don't even know if you know what you were saying and how impactful it was, but basically what you wrote is that this has been the year of Chelsea Reinvented. And what's interesting about that is this year, okay, let's do our next shadow because I can talk while doing this. I'm just going to take this color right here, and I'm going to grab something kind of a little bit more tapered and throw it into our crease to start building up. And of course, as usual, all my brushes are a little bit dirty, so don't mind that. MAC 217. So this year, I've really decided that I'm making it a point not to buy a lot of makeup. And I know for some of you who are just subscribing, you're like, well, I'm leaving. She ain't doing hauls. YouTube is a lot more than hauls. And I know a lot of you come here for reviews and that sort of thing. But why I turn to YouTube is because I like the people that I watch. And I don't feel pressure from people I genuinely enjoy. I don't feel the pressure to buy because I trust the reviews. And if they really like something, and I'm not saying I won't ever buy things. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not succumbing to the pressures of everyone else is doing it, so I need to do it too to be relevant. You don't have to buy the newest, latest thing. You don't have to post hauls to be relevant. In fact, the YouTube community isn't just beauty videos. There's a whole lot of other content out there. And so there's a place for whatever it is that you want to share, you know? So in saying that it's the year of me reinvented, it really is just the year of me not doing what everyone else is doing anymore, not feeling like I have to be like everybody else to have a channel. When I first started watching YouTube, I really just was myself, and I've always been myself, but even more so, like I just created content that I just wanted to share things I liked, recipes, you know, some workout related things. I just really wanted to start a channel where I shared like me. And what happens in the midst of that is I got sucked into the beauty aspect of it, so much so that I felt constant pressure to buy and have what everyone else was talking about because it was new. And of course new is exciting. New things are exciting, and they should be because they're new. It's a new adventure. It's something new to try. Like, I'm not saying new things aren't exciting because they absolutely are. But things become not exciting when you're stressed and pressured over it, and you're buying things you can't really necessarily afford or you shouldn't be buying, and makeup does expire, so if you collect so much of it that you can't actually use it, it's not benefiting you, because then my face was breaking out because I was using things, and so on and so forth. The fact that you would point out something that I'm really striving for. I'm striving to just absolutely, wholeheartedly be myself. And I know what it feels like to not be able to have the other things people are having, and sometimes you can just feel kind of down and out about that. But don't be, because it is just material things after all, and there are so much greater things that we should be striving for in our character, who we are, how we're treating other people. Those are things we should be striving for, not like the latest makeup release. Alright, now I'm going to go in with this peach shade, which is beautiful. It's a really nice, well done peach shade. It's not so bright that it completely takes your eye look to a neon level, but it's not so dim either that it muddies it up. And I'm just going to take that same brush, MAC 217. I do this a lot where once my brush is dirty and it's in my hand, and if we're only going progressively darker in shadow, I'll just keep using the same brush. What I love about these Kat Von D shadows is that they blend really effortlessly. They really do. They layer well. Now you do have to be careful because you can blend them away to nothing because they blend so well. I feel like they're up there with Viseart for me. I really enjoy how soft and buttery these are. They kind of remind me too of a little bit of like a Viseart, or is it Viseart? I don't know, whatever. Mixed with an Anastasia or a Lorac, because you see how much product it kind of picks up, which isn't a big deal to me. I just do that. But I like a softer shadow like that because they don't have to work so hard to build up the color when it's more like when a shadow's pressed really hard, you have to build and build and build to even remotely get the color that it looks like in the pan. It is a dark, rainy day here today, and I'm really enjoying it because I know the heat's coming, and I'm not a huge fan of a lot of heat. I'm not really a huge fan of extremes, I guess you could say. I don't like extreme temperatures. I don't really enjoy any extreme sports. I can safely say you will never catch me skydiving or bungee jumping or anything like that. Yeah, I can safely say that's not going to happen. I guess that fright, that fright or flight response. I like to keep it at bay. Now I'm going to take this Zoeva 227 Luxe Definer, and I'm going to dip into this color right here, this warm red-brown. And on my note, I said that I mixed the peach with this color, but we're just going to go in separately. This is funny. I actually made this note a couple weeks ago. Like I said, I missed last week's Throwback Thursday, and so I haven't really worn much makeup over the past week. Just been doing other things in life, you know, and so I made this note and I'm like trying to decipher this diagram here. I'm just going to go back into that same peach shade, and what I usually do after I deepen stuff up is I go back over the top of it with that crease shade, and that just helps me, you know, keep this blended really well. And I always find that I kind of lose the brightness of that transition shade a bit, so I like to go back over the top of it. Just kind of blend everything out. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this chocolate color over here. This one over here is a little bit, I just like the tones of this one a little bit more than that one, so that's why we're going to go in with that. And I'm going to take a Sigma E36 blending brush to do this. I really like how small this brush is because my eyes are very deep set. So if it's too fluffy or if it's not pointy enough, I just get a lot of skipping and it's really hard for me to get in here. I'm going to go back in with that red color a little bit and that same brush we used for the red brown. Just kind of go over the top of that a little bit. Once again, same concept where I add a color and I usually find I got to go a little bit over the top of it just to kind of bring it back to life. And I'm not using a lot of pressure. If there's anything I can tell you that I've learned about doing eyeshadow is I used to just like, oh, I would choke up on that brush and I would be getting in there. And that's great when you're scrubbing toilets or you're trying to get the soap scum off of your shower. Not so good when you're trying to apply eyeshadow. So I've learned to have a lighter hand, a lighter pressure. And that's a learned thing because me naturally is I'm very like, I'm in it. Like I am in it. I am like quick. I like to get things done quick and I like to be just however about it. I'm not a naturally like light-handed, like I'm just like, can be a little rough. I've gone back to older videos where I'm like washing my face or removing my makeup or something and I'm like in pure horror. Like that's where that wrinkle came from. Oh my gosh, I wish I was just, and part of it is like I'm not even realizing what I'm doing. It's just how I do it, so it's just my norm. So then when I see it from an outward perspective, I'm like, oh. It's very interesting how when I'm able to like look at myself from your perspective, which is cringeworthy at best, very cringeworthy. But if anything, you do learn things, you know, about yourself that way, which is why it's important to have good friends and family that will tell you in love, hey, you need to like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like people that will tell you for real, like how things are. Okay, so I'm going to take this cream shade over here with the Chikuhodo G9. And I'm going to throw that on my lid. Actually, I'm going to ever so gently pat that onto my lid. It's one thing to hear when you're learning stuff, it's to hear it, but it's a whole nother thing to apply what you've learned. And I just realized the last color I used with this brush was green. That's a problem. That, my friends, is why you wash your brushes. This is a very pigmented cream. I love it. Look at that. It's essentially acting like concealer. Like it's canceling out all of the darkness underneath. That is a good cream. I'm going to take that same cream that's on our lid and put a little bit up here on the brow bone just to kind of clean that area up. Now I'm just going to take a small amount of this dark brown shade, which is a slightly different tone, and keep it really out here and just slightly deepen this up even a little bit more. Because this brown is a little bit darker and cooler. So it's going to act like black, but I'm always so afraid to use black. I'd rather just go in with a really dark brown. I want to put a little bit of this, I'm going to take a little bit of this brown color. No, this is like that red color. I'm going to bring it onto my lower lid just a little bit. Really softly, I'm going to feather this peach shade on the very edges of this. I'm going to take the Pixie Liquid Eyeliner here. This is a felt tip black liner and it works really well for any sort of liquid eyeliner. I really enjoy this product. Mostly because it's easy for me to use and I don't like things that products that make me want to throw them across the room are not good products for me. So I'm going for like a goddess look today. So we did a little bit of a wing, which I haven't done in a while. And I'm going to be applying some mascara. This is the CoverGirl Supersizer. I have to tell you, in my, I said May favorites, but it was my April favorites. Look at that. There goes the first mascara up. I had said how I didn't like this for my upper lashes. I've had a change of heart. I like it for my upper lashes. The reason I did it before is because I was using the Chanel mascara one day and then I used this and I'm like, well, this isn't doing what the Chanel is doing. Well, you can't expect the CoverGirl Supersizer to do what the Chanel does because first of all, they're not meant to do, they don't have the same purpose. Like one gives volume and this one gives like length and curl, and I used it and I really liked it. We're going to be doing some false lashes today, so I'm just applying one coat to get my lashes coated here. You're allowed to change your mind on products. And sometimes products get better the longer you have them open. And that's what happened with this mascara. I've had it open, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks. And I like it more now than I did at first. It's too wet. It was too wet at first. And I don't like a really wet mascara because it just weighs my tiny little lashes down I need something a little bit more dry so I can manipulate them. It's the same with my hair. If I use a product that weighs my hair down, it does nothing. I want to make a statement today with my eyes, so we're going to go with the House of Lashes Pixie Luxe. They are very long, wispy, and they kind of do this crisscross motion, which I think is beautiful. So I applied the lashes and I did a little bit of mascara on my lower lash line, and I think I do not actually want to bring any shadow on my lower lash line today. Normally I do, like every single time, but I think I kind of, well, maybe a little bit. I don't want it to be so unbalanced because these lashes are so in charge that we need to do a little bit of something. I think I'll just do a little bit of peach with this E36 Sigma, this peach shade we've been working with here. I think we'll just bring a little of that down here. I like to do inner corner brightening because my eyes are really deep set, so it kind of like brings it forward. Even though they're deep set but close together, this just kind of helps a little bit. Alright. My foundation I'm wearing today, I'm filming a review on it right after this. If it's up, I will link it in the description box and put it in a card. If it's not, it's going to be very, very soon. It is drugstore, and it is like $5.99. Alright, so I've already done bronzer and all that stuff, so I'm going to do blush. I've decided to do a kind of barely there blush today. This is NARS's Madly. It's like a pinky beige, but it looks more just like, well, beige in the pan here. And the Wayne Goss 14 Cheek Brush. Whew, it's amazing what a blush can do for a woman. MAC Soft and Gentle is the highlighter I've chosen to use today. I haven't used it in a while, and I used it the other day. I'm like, you know what, this is an oldie but a goodie. And I'm just going to take a Morphe brush today to apply my highlighter. And I like to stay back here. If I get too much in this area, or even too close down in here where I have pores, that highlighter will just put those pores on blast. Now, if you ain't got no pores, first of all, you're one lucky girl. Second of all, go ahead and bring it down a little bit further. But for me, it's just not a good look. It like takes away from the point of a highlighter when you're highlighting things that shouldn't be highlighted. Then it becomes distracting and it's not doing you any good. I mean, nobody wants their imperfections and their faults and all the things they suck at to be like blasted to everyone, you know? Now, I have not chosen a lip for this look, so now I'm going to sit here and think about what we could do. Now, in the past, I've done like a peachy nude. That's obvious. You could do a red if you were feeling real bold. I think you could almost bring in you could do a really dark lip. I'm going to start with Marc Jacobs Nudist Lip Liner. And then I'm going to take Bite Beauty Meringue. And I think, on camera, this is too light. In person, I really like this. It's a very nude, peachy nude. But I'm thinking on camera, this might be washing me out a bit. So I grabbed Ginger Snap. Now, I like to mix these two lipsticks. I know this is high maintenance. You don't have to do this. Just pick one. Pick both. Do whatever it is that you enjoy. I think I just need a little bit more peach. And I gotta tell you, just like I do with eyeshadows, I often mix my lipstick and customize the color or shade that I'm wanting. But when you own a lot of lipstick, you have the luxury of being able to concoct and mix and match. And even if you don't, that would be the opportune time to mix and match, is if you don't have the exact shade you're looking for, mix stuff together. I'm going to do a little bit of gloss. This is Lorac Alter Ego in the shade Southern Belle. My fun bun has been having a party of its own this whole time, kind of off to the side of my head, so excuse me if my hair was not perfect, but Chelsea doesn't aim for perfection anymore. So this is the finished final look. I really like this palette. I've always liked this palette, but I like the fact that you can get a cool toned look out of this, you can get a neutral toned look out of this, or you can take and make a warm look. That's kind of how it is set up. It's very user friendly. It is all matte. Yes, if you enjoy shimmer, you're not going to find that here. You're not going to find a satin. You're only going to get an all matte look. But in my opinion, I think all matte looks are very clean looking, very smooth. And then if you're going to do an all matte eye look, do a dewy face or do a really glossy lip or really focus on like the glow elsewhere, because the mixture of a matte look with that, I think is really pretty. you know, compared to like if you did a dewy eyeshadow and dewy shimmery, it just gets to be a lot. This is one of my favorite looks, is to do an all matte eye and then just really focus on the face, being a little bit more glossy, a little bit more dewy. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you would like to check out any of the other throwback videos, I do have an entire playlist. I will link that in the description box if you'd like to kind of chat with me. We do all the chatty things during Throwback Thursday and Chit Chatterday, and just basically any of my videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, very blessed day. If you enjoyed yourself, give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe on your way out if you have not yet. And I know some of you are not subscribed because I can see that you are not. I know you watch, but make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss anything in case, you know, I upload something that really interests you. Love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll chat soon.